Hey guys, it's me, and it's time for more chit chat. But today's video is mostly to launch the beginning of Survivor Island of the Isles. It's what time is it now? Just almost 9 o'clock in the morning. Been up since 7, and luckily for me, someone managed to find me a link for the new episode of Island of the Idols. So I'm more or less able to talk about the review in kind of sync with America watching it. Now they're gone to bed, you're probably still all asleep. And so by the time you get this video, you will watch all the reviews with everyone else who posts in America. That makes we are within a 12-hour limit since the show, 12-hour window in a way, since the show's been aired. And so everyone's got a lot to talk about. And so quickly, I'm going to get right into it about, in my introduction video, if you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it, because it was just about me talking a lot about what it takes to play this game. And as a fan of the show, and even Rob and Sandra said it themselves, there's ways to play this game. And this first episode is exactly a lot of the things what I said in that introduction video about using your head, using your heart, but your heart for your family, or your heart to hurt someone else who's playing for their family, and your gut. And Rob and Sandra did exactly what they do best, and I love their dynamic already. I was glad they were on in the first place. I never questioned Rob and Sandra coming back, and I'm sure Jeff Probst is also happy that they've come back. And even, it's weird because obviously I've seen Sandra play the game. She played 94 days. Now she'll play for another 37, 39, but it's not actually for surviving the game. But you forget that Sandra does know how to make fire, even though you don't really see it in her previous seasons. But she was in the day 39 days, and then 16 or whatever it was. But you must know she knows how to make fire. But you just because other people make the fire for her, or she doesn't need to worry about it. But she doesn't need to worry about making it. But it's funny. It's funny when you watch her say get the husk, get the magnesium, do. But anyway, let's talk about the two tribes. I've left my paperwork downstairs now. Damn it. Because I had to write the names of the characters of the contestants, because I didn't watch so much of the reviews. I wanted to just take my first impression straight away. Let's talk about Lairo first. And Lairo, this is now spoilers, so guys, if you haven't watched it yet, don't watch this. ... So Lairo lost the first community challenge. And so I love the Lairo dynamic now and how everything was being set up, because it looked like there was a 3 on the out straight away with Tom, with Elaine, and with Keith. Vince. I had a Keith in my head at some point. No. Vince, Tom, and Elaine. But I like the dynamic straight away, and I like the fact that Tom is a very good judge of character, and I think Tom will do well and will make merge based on how we play the game. Because even if now we've lost a guy in the tribe, we're not going to lose strength, because I think the women are also very strong as well. So don't count out that. So Lairo will lose the minute challenge. Elizabeth goes to Island of the Idols. But there was also a female alliance that kind of also bloomed organically from the haze of it. And I also think that is a good indication of it. Even Jeff Probst saying, before the big season aired, he was like, these are the strongest women we've ever had play the game. And the women know what needs to be done. And it's almost very reminiscent of Kim from One World and the Women's Alliance that was created and formed to get the guys out the game and play the game as hard as they possibly could. And it may happen again this season. We may actually finally see another female winner, which actually is deserving of in the ranks of someone like Sandra, for example. Right. So, Elizabeth at Island of the Idols. She did play a Ghost Island lie and told them the reason about the urns and follow the path, and there's 3 urns. And I'm glad you mentioned 3 rather than 2, because 3 means that if you push 1 urn, no game. 2 urns means she gets to go up path and follow it on, and a 3rd urn means she wins immunity or something like that. I'm curious to see who she's going to tell. I think she'll tell Missy, because her and Missy had that first opening day when they ran up the beach together, and I think also the two of them are thinking they're like the voting bloc of the Women's Alliance that will go for further in this game. So I'm liking their dynamic about the two of them being well known for being a war veteran and Olympic medalist, and they should now do it. Knowing that she knows the big fire now, but how far will that take her in the game? If, for example, they do a tribe swap from 2 tribes to 3 tribes, will they be able to benefit from a more information going forward? But the Women's Alliance, plus the Tom and Vince and Elaine core 3, which are these now Dean, is it? Dean and Aaron out on the outs. But I don't think they will get voted out anytime soon. I think they'll quite easily rally back into the fold. And I'm worried about Karishma. I think that's how I pronounce her name. She might be the next to go. I'm just getting weird vibes from her. Like, she's not understanding it, but she wants to move with the game. But she might need to move in a different direction because I think the game is going to catch up and take her out soon. But anyway, that's my prediction moving forward. I will talk about Vokai, a different tribe one, I think, because at the minute I don't need to talk about them. I might do a second video later on, but I'll talk about Lairo today, just because it was their episode based on Elizabeth going to see Rob and Sandra and Under the Idols. And I like the fact that they didn't drop her off at the very front of the island. She goes around, she has to walk, and then she approaches them when they go and talk. And it is so weird because obviously you can tell she's a fan of the show, being an Olympic medalist, and she's obviously someone who knows both of them. And the one thing that going up against Ross and Rob, what were you thinking? Like, she saw how quickly he made fire just in front of her, and yet she still wanted to go for it. It's a mistake she won't make again, or a mistake that she actually, I think, has benefited her game moving forward, because I think even if she only gets to see them once in this entire journey, she takes the most vital experience about how to survive the first few votes. How far she'll take that, I have no idea, depending on obviously who goes from that tribe next to Island of the Idols and what information they bring back to talk to Elizabeth with. Anyway, I wonder whose name she picked out for next week. I'm hoping it's a guy. Maybe it's the... I'll talk about Vokai at the time. Maybe I'll be curious to see who the other vote is from the tribe that's going to Island of the Idols next. But back to my head, heart, gut thing. Because obviously Sandra showed her how to make fire. She was like more of like a mentor for her. And discuss a little bit about how to do it, what to make for magnesium in the little bowl, the cup, the nest, get a nest ready. And even Rob offered her that. I was like, yeah, she got the competitive streak, but it's day 1, day 3. Don't do it so early. And I'm not quite sure. I think that immunity idol was only good for her for the next 2 tribal councils. Or was it for the next 2? She can use it twice. I don't know. I have to go back and watch it. So I think that's only good for the next 2 tribals, for 2 tribal councils that she goes to. So I don't think that idol would have done her any good to begin with. And plus, also, I think it was already big of a target on her back anyway to do it. But anyway, even Rob said to him, like, and Sandra asked her, what does your gut tell you? And obviously, if she wasn't an Olympic medalist, and she wasn't competitive as she is, she would have followed her gut rather than her head. Because in your gut, if she had the Women's Alliance, she had a good relationship, and knowing that she would be able to see, obviously, paranoia and doubt. She already had doubt going into the island, so I think the more doubt that she had when she got there was more about what was going on back at camp. And so I think because she was spiraling out of control, her head just spoke more about, I'm in it for me, let's do this, rather than thinking, okay, I have this desire to listen and go back. Luckily, the no vote isn't that big a deal at first tribal because there's 10 people. Even if you take away 1, you are 4 to 5. You still, even if it's 6 to 4, 5 to 4, you still get a majority vote. And I'm still making 15 minutes because I don't know how long I'm talking for. The funniest thing about the Tribal Council, I'm doing my American president thing now, I don't know why. When I got to the Tribal Council, and obviously there's a lot about Elaine, and I love Elaine. Like we've all, like I saw Andrea mentioned on that Twitter this morning. She's like, I'm already in love with Elaine because Elaine's story was so. It was kind of like Reem from last season, almost that kind of like opening her mouth too much. But Reem got voted out because she was a pain in the ass, and she was better the entire season. But that made good television. Elaine's different. Elaine's the completely opposite of Reem, where she's so likable. They wanted to get rid of her because she was talking to everyone, and she's comical and jokey and blah blah blah. But I don't know how much obviously everyone was set in stone before going to tribal, but the Women's Alliance wanted to do women thing, fight anyway. But Elaine's story spoke to women and spoke to people real playing the game, whereas Ronnie just put his own foot in his mouth. Like, he went on. Like, to the point where he didn't need to, but he unfortunately used the wrong examples of what everyone's been through in life. He wasn't talking about his hardships, he was bragging. And another fact that also Rob and Sandra were in the Tribal Council, and they're watching as well. And even Rob asked Sandra, would you worry about listening to your heart first? I was like, no, I'll vote your ass out. And that's true. And they voted his ass out because he was an absolute dick. And yet again, poker players cannot win this game because poker players also carry an ego. And poker players, unfortunately, it exudes within them. A poker player, you can tell who a poker player is. You may not be able to tell if they're bluffing or not, but you can tell how a poker player is just by their being. And Ronnie didn't just trust Elaine. Elaine didn't trust Ronnie. They both talked on the beach, and they're like, no, not going to happen. And I think it was a safe bet that he was going home, and he did. And also, I don't think his loss will be any big shape to the mission to the rest of the tribe. Because on the other side, I think you've got weaker guys on Vokai than you have on Lairo without even having lost Tribal Council once. And so, it was a very good premiere episode. Wasn't like the most like wow, but the Rob and Sandra thing was fantastic, and the hats off to even Jeff not being there at Marooning on day one was great as well. I'm liking that they will keep to these two tribes for a little bit. I don't think there'll be a tribe swap anytime soon. It depends on how much winning happens. if it's weighted and skewed in one favour. But I think Jeff Probst will do a tribe swap at some point. I'm not sure going to 3 is the most obvious way this time around. But I do think there will be opportunities for Survivor players to play with the idols. I wonder what the next advantage will be. I wonder who will be the next to go to Island of the Idols. And I wonder if I can last another week until I have to watch it again. Right guys, grab your torches, head back to camp. See you tonight, or see you next week.